Hi friends, how are you all? My name's Nikki and welcome to my Flosstube. This is a special edition of Flosstube, or Flosstube number 10, I think, double digits, woohoo. I've decided to jump on the WIP parade bandwagon, so the work's in progress. I've had quite a number of starts over the last couple of months, and I've seen lots of fun WIP parades on Flosstube, so I thought I better do it. Plus Betsy Klager on Flosstube, she dobbed me in and told me that I was going to be doing a WIP parade. So here I am. Before we get stuck into the WIPs, I thought I'd show you I have had a finish. Woohoo! And it was this one. So this one is LW Motif Sampler by Samplers Not Forgotten. And it is just the prettiest little sampler. Now, I did change the initials that were on the sampler. I changed them to some of my ancestors. Here I've changed it to MN, and that's for Mary Ann Newlin, who is my great-great-grandmother on my mum's side, so my maternal great-great-grandmother. I won't go through the history. You guys don't want to know. She was married to my great-great-grandfather, and his name was Thomas Wilson Dawson. So that's the TD on this one. And Thomas Wilson emigrated from Nova Scotia in Canada to Australia in about 1859. And I can find no trace of him in the records. He only appears in the records in Australia in about 1860. So I cannot find him. But he died very, very young. He drowned, which is very sad, and left poor Mary Ann with a tribe of kids. And it was a tribe of kids that she had with her first husband, who also passed away very young. So she had a very sad life. Anyway, isn't it pretty? I just love the colours in this one. And I did change the colours a lot from what was called for, because it just wouldn't show up on this pretty linen. So that's that one. So I'll finish, yay! The other thing I wanted to show you is I popped into my friend Lisa's patchwork store that's about 2 kilometres up the road from my house. Her patchwork store is called Nesting Needles. If anybody is looking for a lovely patchwork store to visit or to buy some goodies over the phone or whatever you need, Lisa's got a huge range of really beautiful fabric and yarn and a growing cross-stitch collection. But I popped in there the other day and she had some new fabrics in stock, and I had to get some to make a project bag. So this is the fabric, and I've made it into a project bag. So beautiful ships. I just thought that was so cool. And the little flowers, beautiful green. So I just quilted that. I used what's called a grunge pink fabric as the lining, and just quilted the 2 layers together with some batting in between. Stuck a zipper in there, and the project that I've got in that bag waiting for me to start is this one. We Live in Hope. So that's one that's got a ship on it. So that's that one, and I've got it all kitted up, ready to go. And I am going to do a kit parade in a couple of weeks, if you're interested. And so these are the pretty colours. Beautiful blues and tans, and some pinks as well. Very pretty. And I've got that kitted up with 40 count summer khaki. Thanks also to everybody who commented on my last video. It was really fun. I've done the random comment picker for my project bag giveaway, so I'll announce that at the end. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully It seemed like there were lots of people that were interested in receiving my project bag. There were about 290 comments using the the unique word that I chose. Right, WIP parade. Now what I did today is I've got my book of days, and in the back I wrote down all of the WIPs by date order. So they are in date order mostly. I think there are a couple that are a bit out of whack, but anyway, we'll see how we go. The first one is Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1826, by Just Stitching Along. This is a beautiful chart, as they all are. I started this one on the 7th of February 2020. So she's my oldest WIP. So that's that one. I've forgotten a lot of the fabrics that I started it on, and I haven't written it down for today, but if you're interested to know anything that I haven't remembered, please just put a comment below and I'll get back to you on what I've stitched it on, if I forget to mention it or I can't remember. So this is Miss Lucy. I do remember she is stitched on a 36 count, what's it called? Antique Ivory from Zweigart. It's just not an overdyed linen, it's just a standard Zweigart linen. And I'm stitching her using all of the called for DMCs. I haven't changed out any colours, it's just as is. I've still got the mistake at the top, in the top border, that I have to fix, but that's okay. I'll get there. So I don't know if you can quite see how big she is, but it's quite big. It's quite a big one. And she's very pretty. The border at the bottom is really pretty, with purples and pinks and all the pretty colours. And that's that one. That's Miss Lucy. Okay, the next one I have is Red Deer by GGR. Oh, this one's in the plastic, can you see? I think that's okay. A lot of people have seen Red Deer on other Flosstube channels, so that's Red Deer. It's pretty amazing, this one. She was stitched between 1861 and 1866. And this is mine. This is where she's up to. So you can see where I've started working on the Red Deer at the top. As usual, I started this one on the bottom right corner. That's where I tend to start most things, not always, but mostly. That's where I start. That's that one. She's really pretty. This one's being stitched on a 38 count Heron Grey from Legacy Linens. And I really like 38 count, 37 and 38 count Legacy Linens. They're really nice to stitch on. So that's Red Deer. I started her on the 3rd of June last year. She was my birthday start last year. There are some pitiful starts in this. Some people probably wouldn't even call them starts. They're just sort of a couple of threads thrown in. The next one might be an example of that. And here's one of the little project bags I've made. And this is really good for these little small charts. So the next one I have to show you is the Wool and Flexco from Plum Street Samplers. I started this one on the 26th of October last year. So that's that one with the sheep. I started this one thinking I wasn't going to stitch the Wool and Flexco words down the bottom, but I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I'll continue working on this piece without the writing, or whether I'll just continue without stitching it. What do you think? What's your view? I'd love to know what you think, whether I should leave it in or leave it out. If I stitch the letters, I'll have to restart it because I haven't left myself enough linen anyway, I'll show you first. Again, this one is stitched on, same as Red Deer, the 38 count Heron Grey from Legacy Linens, and that's my little teeny tiny start. Just there. And again, I'm stitching this one in all of the called for over-dyed cottons. I think there's a couple of DMCs in this that were called for, but mainly over-dyed. So that's that one. Tinksy's little start. And WIP number 4 is Anne Morrison. I started her on the 5th of December 2020. And this is a stitch along with Traditional Stitches, a needlework store in Alberta in Canada. And I'm behind on this one because you've heard me whinge about this fabric before. This is a 45 count I'm not doing a very good job at remembering. 45 count Jersey cream? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. It's the called for linen using the 103 silks. I hope you can see. Using the called for silks on this one. So she's very pretty. So that's that one. As I said, I'm well behind on the stitch along, but you know, oh well. Stitch what you love when you love, I say. I didn't show you the chart. Again, though, most people have, sorry, that was my, the wooden bits from my scroll bars in the bag, clonking away. This is Anne Morrison, 1830. So she is very pretty, and I'm up to these. I've just finished these letters here, so I've got this amount to go. I've been seeing some of the eyelet hearts on Instagram, and it's just beautiful. Just beautiful. So that's that one. Oh, there's a pair of scissors in here. Treasures. I'll zip those there for later. And trust me, I have more than one pair of scissors. I haven't been missing them. Like all of us, I love scissors. Okay. Next pile of project bags. The next one I have got is in a Betsy banana bag. And this one is Christmas Garden, and it's a blackbird chart. Most people have seen this one, but I'll show you just in case you haven't. If I can find it. Here it is. So it's in this Home for the Holidays book. I think you can get it as a separate chart also, but this is the book that I've got, that I got my copy from. And that's Christmas Garden. Isn't it just so pretty? And again, I'm using all of the called for over-dyed cottons. I haven't changed any of them. And I'm stitching this one on a 45 count. Oh, I remembered earlier. I always forget this one. A 45 count linen from Legacy Linens. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember. So it looks like I've done a really small amount. That actually took a long time. But it's really pretty. And if I made a mistake in this line, so I had to unpick a heap of that. But I haven't worked on that for a while. So that's that one. That's going to be just so pretty. Okay, 45 count. I cannot remember what it's called. It's not woven sedge. Got it. foxtail millet. It's 45 count foxtail millet from Legacy Linens. Next one. You guys haven't seen this one before. I haven't shown you this. This is a chart that my hubby Donnie gave me for Christmas last year. Now, can I find a pretty cover? It's called Always Flowers Sampler. Oops, I showed you the bit of the chart. Always Flowers Sampler by Stitches Through the Years. And this is a little cross-stitch company that's got an Etsy store. And this was one that Don found himself. And he thought it was really sweet. I'm sure he didn't call it sweet. I reckon he would have called it, you know, oh, that's a ripper. You should stitch that one, Nick. So that's that one. And I started that one on New Year's Day this year. That was my New Year's Day start. And it's got some really pretty threads too. It's overdyed cottons. I'll show you the threads and I'll show you my piddly start. Ta-da! Now this is a 36 count mystery linen. I don't know what this linen is. And these are the pretty colours. So they're really muted tans and greys, purples and pinks. So a really interesting combination of colours. Look at this one. That's cool. That's called Stone. It's a Weeks Dye Works thread called Stone. Some really pretty colours. And this one here, well, that's chestnut, and this one, Williamsburg Red. That's really pretty. Anyway, so that's that one. Always Flowers Sampler. You can get that one on Etsy. Not that you want to just get it for the border, but I'll show you the picky again. What does it say? All the flowers of all the tomorrows are in the seeds of today. Bloom where you are planted. Some see a weed, some see a wish. Oh. That's that one. So that was New Year's Day. And then on the 19th of January, I started this one. This is another one that Donnie gave me for Christmas. But this is the one that I organised myself, including the silk. And this is Ragamuffin 2 from Shakespeare's Peddler. This glorious chart that I just love so much. Do you ever get it? I look at this one and I think, I don't want to stitch that one because I don't want it to end. Is it just something that's unique to me? That's a silly. Is what it is. I just love it. The beautiful soft colours. I think it's my favourite Shakespeare's Peddler chart. I just think it's so beautiful. And as I said, I'm using all of the silks. These are all of the silks. So it's a combination of NPIs and Alvera Soie silks. Really pretty colours. I've changed a couple just so that it would show up on my linen that I chose, which is a 40 count platinum from Zweigart. My brain's not working very well. It's actually Friday evening here, so I've had a full work week and my brain's just a bit cooked. I'm a bit tired, but anyway, I'll keep going. This is where I'm up to with it. It's quite big. It's considering it's on 40 count. It's quite big. It's so beautiful. Look at the flowers. I just love it. Love it. That border's pretty. So I've got lots of work left to do on that one. Like most of them. Okay, next. Oh, it's the big bopper. Sampler from Saxony, which was started on the 20th of January this year. And I showed this quite recently and I haven't worked on it anymore since, but that's this one. This too is on a 40 count linen. I haven't showed you the chart yet, so that's this one. But you can see the little man on there with his dog. The cool bright orange tree. I think that's cool. Another little man in the middle and a big peacock. And then all of the different bands at the bottom, which, yeah, haven't completed too many of those. I wanted to get to the fun stuff. So that's that. I'm stitching this one on a 40 count unknown linen. It says Weigart linen. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'll quickly show you the chart for that one. Where are you? Picture? Here. Sorry. Crinkle, crinkle. This is the chart. So you can see here's the little man that I've stitched. The orange trunk of the tree, the orange tree, and that one. And these are the bands here. So it's a big one. It's like 500 and something stitches tall, or 200 and something wide, I think. So it's big. But I love it. Did I say that's a GGR chart? That's a GGR chart. I love GG. The next one is a Whilst Iris Snaps design, and it's Emily Harbour. Emily Harbour 1824. Whoops. Okay, so this is her chart, and this is the Don't Be a Bloody Hypocrite sampler. There's Christina's little name there, Whilst Iris Snaps Designs. And this one I'm stitching in two silks that I just chose for this one. A Gloriana and a, I got in here. So I've got, green is a Gloriana in Forest. Is that pretty colour? It's quite a variegated green. That one. And this Caron collection Old Gold silk, the Water Lilies silk. And that again is quite variegated, but they look quite nice together. Quite pretty. So that's what I'm stitching this one in, Emily Harbour. And I'm stitching this one on a 40 count Rain Cloud from Number 12 Stitch Co, which is an Australian Etsy store. And I just love Nicola's linens. So that's that one. So I've got all of the border in, and then starting across here. And then I saw something shiny and new and put it down and started something else. The next one is a little one that is a pitiful start again. I'll get them done. This one is Harrietta and Co, designed by Brent Gervais from With Thy Needle and Thread. And Melly Ellie, have you stitched this one? I just love this little bunny. Look at her cute little skirt. And the little, yes, it's just cute, cute, cute. You ready? It's so terrible. There you go. See? That's her foot on the bottom of her skirt and the ground. That's all I did. Then I saw a squirrel. That is being stitched on a little piece of 40 count summer khaki. Oh, I don't know. I'm sort of regretting doing this now because as we get to the newer ones, there's less done. Some of them are quite pathetic. Oh well. The next one was a start along that Betsy and I began When did we start this one? We started this one on the 20th of March this year. I can't find the picture. Yes, I can. Oh, you can see all behind it. So this one, it's a Barbara Anna design. It's called the Feathered Whisperers. And so that looks like my cat, Frosty. And Betsy's going to be doing her cat, Hamilton, who's a black and white tuxedo cat. But isn't that pretty too? All the little motifs. Beautiful. I really do want to get back to this one. I want to get back to all of them. And I'm stitching this one in all of the called for DMC on a 40 count cafe au lait. I think this one is. It's not very big either. So that's the bottom of the pussycat's bed. And that brown squiggly mark at the top is the start of the cat. So that's it, guys. Okay, I'm going to reach over in front of you because I've got to get some more bags. Sorry, guys. Right. That wasn't very strategically placed, but anyway. The next one is an English sampler called Catherine Pickling, 1780. I started this one on the 22nd of March. This is the one that my friend Lisa gave to me. It was a gift to her, a reproduction by the Royal School of Needlework in the UK. And the little pink house. That's that one. This is the only time I've ever seen this. I've never seen it anywhere else. And this is being stitched in all of the called for the kitted DMC and anchor threads. And I'm stitching this one, I believe this is platinum, 40 count platinum, and that's it. And I've spoken about this one before. This, as you can see in this chart, they excluded the name of the little girl that stitched it, but luckily I could track down the original sampler, a picture of the original sampler, and I have charted her name. So that's how come I've started stitching it in. Catherine Pickling. I think it says her work. I've got it here. Let me pull it out. Yeah, so this is how I recharted it. I can show you because this is my work. It says Catherine Pickling, her work, aged 7 years in 1780. So I just did that on a free software, a free cross-stitch app called Stitch Fiddle. Did that, and I just eyeballed it really. Looked at the original sampler, thought that's close enough, and just charted it up because I wanted it to look quite similar to recognise the little girl that originally stitched it, Catherine. So that's it. That's boobs and bums across the bottom. So cheeky. Right. Next one. Jessie Watson, which is a Hands Across the Sea chart. I started this one as a start along for Autism Awareness Month. When did I start it? 1st of April, April Fool's Day. And I've managed to print out some coloured pictures for you too, so it's not quite so boring on black and white. So this is Jessie Watson. This was stitched originally around 1816, and I just love that little red house. And I've done a conversion from the silks, the called for silks, to a combination of overdyed thread and DMC. And as I've said, if anybody's interested in that conversion, please just send me a message or comment below and I'll get that conversion to you. I I just like that. For this one, I like the variation in a thread. So that's this one. That's where I'm up to with her. See the bunny? Cute. That one is being stitched on a 40 count, I think it's iced chocolate from Jay's X Stitch, another Aussie Etsy store. So that's Jessie Watson. Next one is Strawberry Fields Forever, which is a blackbird chart. This one I've loved forever. I've seen a few people stitch this one lately. Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and Kathleen from Stitchuation Normal. Excuse me. I'm stitching it as called for. And I'm stitching it using all of the called for overdyed threads on this piece of 40 count winter brew from R&R. So that's this one. I started the little stone wall and the little house. Isn't that little house cute? What is it about red houses? I love a red house. So that's that one. So I started that one on the 2nd of April this year. You're skipping along all right, guys. We're at half an hour. This one I started on the 22nd of April. So what, I waited 20 days in between starts. Ooh, good on you, Nick. This one is Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. I'm stitching this one using all of the called for NPI silk. And I love that. Love the colours and love the sentiment. And this is it. I'm stitching it on a 40 count flax from Zweigart. So that's another one. It's really, the silk is really nice to use. Really nice. But I'm surprised, I thought the coverage may have been a bit better on, it doesn't look too bad on the screen, I guess, but in real light, the coverage of the black is not brilliant. And that's on 40 count. I thought it would be really good, but anyway, it will be nice. It will be lovely. So that's that one. What have I done here? Oh, yep. The next one is another blackbird design chart. And this one is called the Bee Skep. And this was one that I started along with Michelle from Mama Loves You GB. What's this little one? Now I think I need marching orders for this one because I'm pretty close to having it finished. And look at that little house. That is the cutest little house ever. Oh, hello, Frosty. He just reached up and wanted a pat. This is where I'm up to. So if I remember correctly, I'm stitching this one on a little remnant of 40 count Wren. Is it Wren or is it Legacy? It's very green, so it might be Legacy from Picture This Plus. I'm sure I have it written down somewhere if anybody's interested to know. And I did change, this is the one where I changed the word, the spelling of the word labour to Queen's English version. L-A-B-O-U-R. So that's that one. So it's pretty close, really. I reckon just a couple of days work and it'll be done. I love that little house. So cute. The next one, golly gosh. My mum will be horrified that I have this many WIPs. She's of that mind of thinking you have one going and then you finish that and then you start the next one. She won't be impressed to hear how many WIPs I've got. Although I bet if I went to her house and had a look how many knitting projects she had, she'd probably have a similar number to WIPs that I have. Is that right, Ronnie? Okay, next one is, this one's called Gathering Swallows, I think, yes. And this came out of the Blackbird Sewing Club book. That's just a little picture of it. This, I was part of the Cruel Goblins schoolgirl club last year. And this was one of their little kits that they put together. So that's it, can you see it there? It's a sweet little one. Wouldn't take me very long to finish from go to woe. Of course, I haven't done that. I was doing this one as my car project for a bit, but I brought it in. And that's where I'm up to. That's it. See that a bit better? So that's it. Blackbird colours, just amazing. Okay, not that many to go. The next one I started on the 15th of May, and it's a stitch along with a fabulous group of women. I've spoken about the group before and who's in the group. It's a stitch along that we started on the 15th as part of Stitch Mania. And there's a plan for us to stitch it over the next few months, and then on New Year's Eve 2021 we put the final stitches in, because it's a Hogmanay sampler, which means it's a New Year's celebration of New Year's. This is Joan Sands, and Jacob is a genius. Now my cat is scratching on the door, but he can just scratch to his heart's content. Jacob is a genius. I just loved stitching this one and I could not put it down. And as a result, I've basically finished it. All I've got to do is put in December 31, 1839. Is that what it says? Yeah. That's all I've got left to do. So check this out, guys. I just love it. It is just so beautiful. And I'm stitching that one on a 40 count something. I think this is a number 12 Stitch Co fabric. Spice maybe? I can't remember. What I might do is put all of the projects in the drop down box if I can fit them all in. If I neglect to do that and you still want to know, please let me know and I'll let you know. I'll tell you. But this is a row of eyelets across here. These big letters here are eyelets. They were fun to do. And that's it. It is really pretty. I loved doing this one. Couldn't put it down, so I didn't. Stitch what you love when you love. That's that one. Okay. The next one, I went a whole month without starting anything. That's because I was obsessed with Joan. And then this, oh, I've got to reach and get, sorry guys, I'm going to bump you. Another bag, another pile of project bags. This one came. This is another Cruel Goblin kit in the schoolgirls. That was my dog yawning if you heard that. You tired, Bonnie? MH1860. That's her breathing, if you're wondering what that expulsion of air was. Yeah, so this is the Cruel Goblins Schoolgirl Sewing Club for this year, and this was the little sampler that we got sent, and I had to start it that day. I was all hepped up and was having a heart attack and a hernia when I saw this one. I just had to start it. So I did. And this one, that's what I've done. We put that behind it. It's nighttime here, so the light's not brilliant. Anyway, I think you can see that okay. That's getting stitched on a 36 count linen from Weeks Dye Works in the colour linen. It's a really pretty colour linen. So that's it. But again, that's not a very big one. Now it's being stitched in all of these luscious over-dyed threads. Pretty colours. Look at that cute little card that the Gobes put together. So cute. Love it. And then 4 days later, on the 22nd of June, I started another big one, All Creatures Great and Small, and that is a Barbara Anna design. And I don't know whether I have a colour picture of it. Have I got a colour? I don't think I do. I'm going to have to look at the black and white version. I think most people have seen this. A lot of people have stitched this one. I love this. I mean, I love all of them. I love all of them. That's the trouble. Anyway, so that's that. So cool. Love it. I'm stitching this one on a 40 count Rain Cloud from number 12 Stitch Co. And that's it. Look at that little fisherman. And I haven't changed that bird yet. Can you see there's a bird there? I told you last time, I think. I'm going to have to unpick him and stitch him in a different colour because you just cannot see him. So that's that. That's a fun stitch, that one. Fun, fun, fun. Did I say I'm stitching it in all of the called for DMC threads? Fun, fun, fun. And then 3 days later, because, you know, you can do a lot in 3 days. Not. I started Riley Harbour, which is another Kathy Barrick chart that I have not been able to resist. And so that's that. Look at the whale and the octopus and a shark and sailing boats and houses. What's not to love? What's those brown squiggles? Oh, they're fish. Oh, there's a lobster. It's a lobster. That's a fun little chart, big chart. So that's that one. I'm stitching this one primarily in DMC. I didn't get the silk for this one, but the last time I filmed a Flosstube, I showed you this one, and I'd stitched the whale in a solid DMC colour, and I wasn't happy with it. It just looked a bit flat for the whale. So I had a look through my stash, and I ended up picking out the whole whale, which took me a little while, and I've restitched it in a Weeks galvanised, and I'm much happier with it. Whales are quite a dark grey. They've got, you know, they're sort of almost black, and then they've got stripes of white and barnacles and all of that sort of stuff all over them. So it just, the thread that I used needed more movement, so I think that gives it to it. I haven't finished him yet. He's along the bottom part. I need to do a few more stitches. So that's that one. The DMC colours are beautiful. That beautiful. I don't know what sort of colour you'd call that, but it's a pretty colour. So that's that one, and that's cut to size, so it's going to be fair size. And that fabric is, I believe, that is a 40 count. Oh, here we go. It's in here. Bush Tea, which is from Jay's X Stitch on Etsy. Okay, and that same day, Emotional Starts, I think it may have been. Yep. I started Anna Omen. It's 1873 from Leela's Studio. This one. Now I started on it. I stitched for about 4 minutes and I haven't touched it since. Yeah. See? Does that count as a WIP? Probably not. That's it. This has been stitched on a 40 count Cocoa Dust from number 12 Stitch Co. Very pretty linen. And I'm using a Silks for You, the red Hank, PR034 Silks for You silk. Oh, it's almost the same colour as my jumper, my cardigan. It is, it's almost identical. Anyway, so that's that. I'm sitting here stroking it because it feels so beautiful. Betsy, I could have a red stripe, not just grey, I could have red. So that's that one. I don't know if I'm going to call that one a WIP. It's on my WIP list at the moment, but it's a bit of a piddly start. Don't matter. Get in there. No, you don't want to go in there. Okay, next one. 3 to go, guys. 3 to go. The next one was a start that I made on the 30th of June. This one was a start for the Ellens. Ellen, particularly Ellen, needleworker Ellen. Oh, what's your surname, Ellen? I've drawn a blank. Come on, brain. With my needle designer. Ellen. I'm so sorry, Ellen. My brain is not working. Ellen. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? It'll come to me. And I'm so sorry, Ellen. We were even chatting on Instagram earlier. It's terrible. Okay, so this is Ellen Norris. It's another GGR chart that I just fell in love with when Ellen showed it on her Instagram. I can't believe I can't think of it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Ellen. It's terrible. Forgetting your friends' last names. Anyway, so that's Ellen Norris. And I'm stitching this one using all of the called for DMC on this 40 count iced chocolate. I remember that. And that's a sailing boat, obviously. That is cool. I love it too. Ellen Chester! Woohoo! So sorry, Ellen. So that's that one. And I'm a bit scared because I didn't realise that there was so much over 1 in that beautiful chart. But I'm up for the challenge. I've got a good magnifier, so I'll be able to do that bit by bit, just slowly but surely get it done. So isn't it beautiful? Love that house. Love the Adam and Eve. Well, that'll be Nick and Don. My husband and I. It's cool. The moth. Yep. So much to love on that one. And that's all the DMCs. Look at all those. Look at that one. Oh, luscious. Okay. The next one I started on the 9th of July. That's only last week, I think. The husband just got home, so the dog wants to go out, so you can probably hear her running around or crying. Daddy, I love you. The next one I started was Jacob's Modern Folk Embroideries, one of his latest releases, and it's called IDM, the Dutch Bird Sampler. Now, there's something about Jacob's charts that I just can't put down. This is going to be another one. Going to be another one. Look at that. I just think that is glorious. These salmon pinks. Although I did watch Jacob's recent Flosstube and he described the names of some of the DMC colours that are used in this. One's beaver grey. Come on, DMC. You can do better than that. So that's that one. And I have started, and I can't put this one down. See? This one I'm stitching on this is a Bergen linen. So the warp or the weft, I can't remember which one. One's 40 count and one's 46 count, although in this case it's 45 count. I did do a little check here, and then I wrote on the margins what count it is. And looking at the chart, it looked to me like this may have been stitched on an uneven linen. Oh, Bonnie, shush! So I decided to do it on an uneven linen, 46 count, 45 count, whatever it is. I have a visitor. Oh, Don's getting Bonnie because she's whinging. So that's that one. So that's the full width, and I'm about halfway up. So it's not very big on a 46 count, 45 count, but that's it. So, so beautiful. I love it. Love it. Jacob is a genius. Okay, now, lucky last start. This one is Mary Griffiths by GGR, and this is the birthday start for my wife, my darling wife, Ellen Reed. Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, Ellen. It was her birthday on the 14th of July, and there are a number of people starting this one on that day. And so that's Mary Griffiths. It's a Welsh sampler, and the writing up here is in Welsh. It's got a giant rat or something. I don't know what sort of creature that is supposed to be. And a spotted thing. I don't know. Some sort of weird Welsh creature. Anyway, so that's Mary, and I just love this one as well. I started this one, but I put it back down to continue working on Dutch birds, the Dutch birds, but I made a little start on this one. Oh, I didn't tell you, that Bergen linen that Dutch birds is on is called Toasted Mallow, and that's from number 12 Stitch Co. Pretty linen. This one, can I remember what this one is? Can't remember what this one is, but you can see I've started something else on it and I wasn't happy with it. That was actually one of the Deventer charts that I started, and I didn't like the colour. It was too dark. So, but I'm using this one for Mary Griffiths. And it's this one. There's that rat, the beginnings of that rat creature. And this line of the border here. And this is a purple colour. Grape Arbor, I think the colour is called. So that's that. Okay, so that's all my WIPs. I do have a confession. I do have some other Christmas WIPs that I haven't counted. I've counted one Christmas, the big sampler, but not the little ornamenty type things. Oh well. I've only got a couple of those anyway now. Most of those I finished after I started them. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to do this Flosstube is to announce the winner of my project bag giveaway. Now, the project bag that I am making, it's about half made, will be virtually the same as this one. So this is a tilde fabric, and it's got tilde fabric along the top and a little checked margin that all ties in nicely. And that, I'm not sure what inside it will have, but it will be something very similar to this, in the same vein as this. It'll definitely have these same colours on the back. So you were also good-humoured and fun with the use of the word smear. There were a lot of references to pap smears, and I recommend there were quite a number of ladies that told me that they were overdue for their pap smears. So please, ladies, public health announcement, please go and have your pap smears. It's very important. We need to look after ourselves. Yes, please do that, ladies. Okay, so I did the random comment picker thing. I'll insert a picture because I'm going to get Blake to edit this Flosstube. I had a go last week, and when I watched it back after I'd published it on YouTube, I'm not going to give up my day job, put it that way. I'm not going to become a video editor. No one would employ me because it was a pretty rubbish attempt. Anyways, I'm going to get Blake to insert a picture of the snip from the comment picker. Anyway, I'm very pleased to announce that the winner of my project bag, plus some other goodies that I'm going to tuck in there, is Jenny Glover. And Jenny, you wrote, "Love your Flosstube!" exclamation mark. Thank you, Jenny. Sorry you have a cold. At least you didn't sneeze and smear it across the screen. Get better fast. Ain't that the truth? That's brilliant. Thanks, Jenny. So I will put a comment on your comment in YouTube. And if you could reach out to me either via Instagram or my email address, which I'll put in the drop-down box below, and let me know your address, and I will pop that in the mail as soon as I get the bag done, which should be in the next few days. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed my little WIP parade. As I said earlier, I'm intending to do a kitted parade as well. I've got not so many things kitted up completely. I've got a lot sort of partially kitted, and I might throw those in just to show you what I'm thinking about stitching in the future. I really do want to work on a lot of these WIPs to get them moving along. If you have an opinion on which projects I should work on next, I would love to hear what you think. Let me know. Do you think I should work on the small ones and get those done and dusted? Or should I work on ones that I've hardly put any stitches in? Or should I work on ones that are most progressed out of the bunch to get those well on the way to being finished and framed and on the wall? All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're all staying safe and well. For those in Australia, in Sydney and Melbourne, I know there are a lot of people in a pretty hard lockdown at the moment. I hope your stitching is giving you lots of comfort, and you're staying at home and you're staying well. Okay, guys, I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Bye.